Hello parents, welcome to Parent Shift, a place where we speak about conscious parenting. I've been speaking to you about raising loving children and it's a 3-part video series. Do watch all the parts. In the current part, let's pick up one more aspect of building a loving child, and here is the concept of support. Every child needs a certain amount of support, and that support could be with its own life and with the kind of things that it needs to do in terms of its daily routine, food, clothing, hygiene, etc. The child could also need support in terms of its own academics and other extracurricular activities, whether it's a creative hobby or it pursues a sport or music, etc. The child may also need a lot of support in terms of making sense of this world and dealing with relationships, complex emotions, etc. It is only a parent who can do sensible things in all these 3 areas. When a child requires and receives adequate support from the parent, it in turn learns the value of providing support to others. Now, if you were to combine with this the concept of achievement orientation, because support cannot be just for the sake of support. Support has to be towards certain standards. So, when you combine outcome and impact orientation along with support, so when you support the child with its basic needs so that the child becomes a disciplined, structured human being, when you provide support to the child so that the child becomes good at academics and achieves excellence in what it does, whether it's academics or it's music or sports or whatever, when the child receives support so that it can succeed with the world, so it can deal with the complexities of the world yet be a likable human being without having rough edges, then that sort of an achievement orientation is going to create a child who's not only having the softer qualities of love, but also is a focused human being in becoming successful in this world. So, a child who's given a lot of support with achievement orientation is a child who grows up to learn to be a successful and excellence oriented human being who is loving, warmth and compassionate towards others. It's a fairly simple concept, but something that we miss out on. So, if your child is asking you to support it without words, non-verbally, or your child is asking you to support vocally, openly in its life, don't step away, don't ignore. Make time, pay attention, because here is where the child is learning coexistence with others, and it is also learning the lessons of being successful and having excellence in life. This is what makes the child feel positive, feel nice, and end up as a loving human being. Love is not something that is just directly taught or given to a child. Like in one of my previous videos on the concept of raising loving children, I said warmth is very important. So yes, when you give warmth to a child, the child is naturally learning love, care, etc. But here when I said you have to give support, it is another very critical pillar which may miss our attention. But the concept of support is what really helps your child to coexist with others, because we only put out what we receive. So, if you have received support and you have had coexistence with others, you will give support to others and you will coexist with others. That's a way that we become loving towards others in life. Remember this important lesson: raise a child who is loving and successful and excellence oriented at the same time. More so when you have a child who's been treated with warmth and who's been given the support in life. This is also a child who's going to highly likely be consistent in what they do in the way they do things. Why? Because everyone has bad days. Children have a lot of bad days. Their mood goes bad, their energy goes down, they are confused with the world. When they are when we are dealt with warmth and support, they become consistent and disciplined. Contribute to the success of your child. What I said in the first video, warmth, and what I'm saying now as support, combine them and offer it to your child in a disciplined environment, in a achievement oriented environment. Raise a successful, loving child.